I
Sure,
just want
sure.
to speak to it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I agree. Conor McGregor's weight class. I think he might be in the wrong weight class if we're going to speak like absolutely. Obviously, his power was a lot better at 145, 155. Um, I mean, he hasn't really fought much at 155, but oh no, no, recently, yeah, against Poirier is at 155. But his power, his left hand doesn't quite translate. Um, so I mean, he was sort of like a bully, right? He was like at 145, he cut a lot of weight and he just had a way bigger reach and was bigger. He was fighting midgets, as Nate Diaz was saying. So, but he's still good. Like he looks like a great. He moves really well, right? Like he's a good physically, very aesthetically pleasing to watch Conor McGregor, and um, his personality obviously exemplifies it, amplifies all of that too. When you say, "Okay, this is how I'm going to win," and then you win that way.
Hmm.
So, I mean, his personality is one thing, his fighting style something else, and the two come together pretty nicely. So yeah, his power doesn't translate in the higher weight classes. Also, everyone's watching him. They got him figured out regarding his specialty. Like we have so much footage of Conor McGregor now, right? Especially with that, was it a 5 round battle with Nate? Um, that was, I mean, we just learned so much about Conor McGregor in those battles. So this happens with champions where the more footage there is of them out there, the more you can sort of look at their weaknesses and their strengths and exploit those things. And that's how Amanda Nunes got dethroned as well. Um, she got outboxed because her style, I felt, was just a little too repetitive. Um, and so Juliana Pena, lots of jabs and crosses that would threw lots of jabs and crosses that would protect her head, right? The crosses, boom, boom, boom. She would cross. She would strike on the inside and protect herself against Amanda's winging, more circular counter style, overhand style jabs and crosses. And Juliana would always get on the inside and stay protected there as well.
So that I guess the theory behind that is those straight punches arrive quicker, right? Is that why it
That's
was as
right.
successful as these?
They arrived quicker, and also she was protecting herself. She knew that Amanda's striking was very deterministic in that they were always overhand style. So, when you throw straighter shots, you get to your opponent, they hit your opponent faster, but also she was using another boxing trick where you hide under your punches. And, um, so if she wasn't getting countered cleanly, she would get countered on her shell up here, her helmet. So she knew exactly what Amanda was going to throw, and she just believed and trusted her punches more, and defended herself, built-in defense within her strikes. So yeah, everyone's watching you at the top, right? So you have to continuously evolve, and um, but I mean, sometimes your strengths are your intrinsic abilities that you've been given, right? So yeah, I mean, but hey, MMA is just so diverse. There's always things to work on.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you turn into a wrestler. Like GSP was initially a striker that would finish his opponents, and then over time he turned into a wrestler that still had good striking. But yeah, no, the Dagestani wrestlers, oh gosh, they would have won UFC one easily. The first handful of UFC tournaments, the Dagestanis would have won that with their like gritty, technical, um, sambo-based wrestling, which is sort of like judo-esque and jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu-esque as well. Um, it's like a mix, right? It's a mix of American wrestling, European, Russian style wrestling, sambo, judo, lots of sweeps, and jiu-jitsu because they have some submissions as well. Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So yeah,
Your opinion is the best of all of them, from what it looked like.
yeah, I agree. I agree.